The podcasting industry is only growing. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here. It's great to see everyone. So this is my second time being here. My name is Terrell Humphrey, and I am the CEO of FIK Advertising Corporation. And what FIK Advertising means, it is failure is knowledge. And so I served in the Marine Corps for 4 years, and during this time, during COVID, I was learning more about myself. I was finding myself. And when I recognized during this time, like Shane mentioned earlier, this is my second time presenting. I don't know if you can see this picture so clearly over there, but this is my second time presenting, and I say this is incredible because you can see the growth, you can see the progression, you can see the things that I've learned over time, and it's just through pictures. And I recently recognized this when I was sitting back and I was just going on my slides. These are two different customers. And what I recognized while doing the FIK Advertising Agency was that I was marketing to the person who had a lot of time. So, which means that they can start their podcast, they can launch their podcast, and really get themselves off the ground. What I didn't recognize by testing and running advertising and paying for different tests was that there's another audience that I can speak to. There's another demographic that I can help, but I didn't recognize that. And during that time, as I'm studying, as I'm looking at the tests, as I'm looking at the numbers, as I'm looking at the information that I'm receiving, I didn't recognize that the person that don't have the time will not be interested in starting a podcast. And so it's so challenging for me to really understand that the problem was that I was only marketing to one person. I was only communicating to one person and forgetting about the other person. And so it taught me that as I'm testing, as I'm running different things, running different campaigns on Facebook advertising, I'm able to see the difference. And this is so important because at first, all this was about how to start a podcast. And you can see I'm gonna step on this side. So the market size for podcasting, this is 23.75 billion with the B. And the podcasting growth projection is constantly increasing. So for the entrepreneur that don't have as much time to launch their podcast and start their podcast, what about if they just get on other people's platforms? And so I start to recognize that I have to really position myself differently because the podcasting industry is only growing. And I didn't read the second one. It said by 2030, it's going to be $130.63 billion with the B. Okay, y'all heard that, okay. So this is a customer testimonial. Recently, I've been doing a 90-day challenge to make $100,000. And as I'm producing podcast episodes, as I'm having conversations, as I'm talking to other individuals, this is a comment on YouTube. And it says, I want to see you keep showing up as you have been. Good work, brother. And I read that because showing up is the most critical thing there is. When you're starting a podcast, when you have the time, you can show up consistently. What about if you don't have the time? How do you show up consistently? That's what I was learning from. And so this is a video of a testimonial. Are you okay if I play it? Okay. Let me see if it'll play. How long? The volume? Okay.
I just want to shout out my boy Terrell. This man asked me to get on a phone call after we met at a meetup. I was like, he's selling me on something, blah, blah, blah. Wasn't selling me on nothing, man. This guy got on and was providing value right off the rip. And one piece of advice he gave me was just to always be recording. Always be recording. And I have enough content for the next 4 months after just 2 days of recording myself all day. Right? I have.
Okay, he just rest. The first part I want you to hear is that he has a lot of content to produce. He's a real estate investor, which means that he doesn't have time. And he wasn't in my, I wasn't speaking to him as a customer. I was just speaking to him as someone to help. And what I recognize is that he didn't have the time. But if you record everything, now you have to edit, now you have to produce, now you have to post, you still don't have the time. And what I recognize with Jake is that he entrepreneur in real estate, which means he doesn't have the time. And I keep emphasizing doesn't have the time because he's not going to start a podcast, he's not going to launch a podcast, but he can get onto other people's platforms to help grow his brand, to help grow everything that he's doing. So pricing over here, I have courses from $497 to $1,997. Then I have workshops. I will be launching workshops in the future from 5K to 10K. Then I have mentorship. You get motivation, success, coaching, goal advice, and then 50K annually. So this is my contact information right here. Yeah, okay. This is my contact information. And if you see a social media that's not on here, it's the same exact thing. So it's the same exact thing. So this is my social media and this is my email. And the next slide is up. So this is for, if you have time, this is a podcast checklist to help you launch your podcast. If you have time for it, you can scan it, complete the 3-question survey, and then you'll be able to get a podcast launch checklist. And if not, you can still scan it, and then we can see what works best for you as well. So again, my name is Terrell Humphrey. I'm the CEO of FIK Advertising Agency. FIK stands for Failure is Knowledge. You have to be willing to fail to learn what you are doing. And I've failed so much, and now I'm learning what I'm doing. So again, I thank you all for your time.